To my mom and to both of my grandmothers, thank you. I love you.
Foodie fam, welcome back. Today is going to be special. Y'all stick around. Today I'm showing you how my mom and my grandmother influenced me how to make these special buttery eggs. And it may be simplistic, but it's going to be delicious. And stick around also for my mom's special on how she made her sauteed potatoes. Let's get it. Mother's Day special. Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1. Now the meal I'm making today is not particularly healthy. So you're looking for a healthy dish, this would not be the one. This would not be the one. Simple reason why, my grandmother and my mom, they made food delicious. It wasn't about, they did make nutritious food, don't get it wrong. But for this is more so of a specialty that I want to show you all that I grew up on, and that why I'm so, if you notice, I make a lot of eggs entrees from over easy to omelets to scramble to sunny side up to a Omari's Japanese omelet to a 7-layer egg omelet. I make a whole bunch of eggs, but they all came from the source of me growing up. My grandma would make these amazing eggs, and she made these delicious grits. If you wanted to get the video on how to make her grits and the little twist I do to them, hit me down below. Let me know. Jeremy, I want to see those grits. I got you. Just let me know. But today is really special for me. This is for all the mothers, for the fathers, for the nephews, for the sons. You want to make a dish for your mom? Follow this recipe. I promise she's going to be not only loving the idea that you're cooking, but also loving the idea that you took time to learn how to make this delicious meal, and she can enjoy each bite. But enough talking, let's get to the recipe. All right, so for your ingredients, you're gonna need half a tablespoon right here. That's gonna be cheddar cheese. Try to get that in there for you all. There we go. You're gonna need half a tablespoon of cheddar cheese. That's gonna go on top of your eggs once they get done being cooked. You're gonna have half a teaspoon of dried parsley. That's gonna be also used for garnishing your eggs as well. You're gonna need 1 tablespoon of butter. That's gonna be used for your eggs before you pour them into the pan. You're gonna have 1/8, get this up real quick. We're gonna have 1/8 of salt. This is gonna be used for your potato right here, because you're gonna need to definitely add some salt and pepper to your potato. I'm gonna show you how I cut this to give you the correct diameter of the size of the potato that you wanna do when you're cooking it. You wanna have a little bit of salt and pepper on the side just for your eggs. We're gonna have also yellow onions. I'm gonna show you how I cut this in a more julienne texture, well, not texture, but it's for a size. Julienne size for you right here. You're gonna do that with 3/4 of a cup of the onions, because you're gonna need that, because the onions is gonna give it that sweetness and savory to the potatoes. And last but not least, we're gonna have 3 pasteurized eggs right here. Doesn't have to be pasteurized, but I personally like to support the brand and also the friendly and the logical friendliness of taking care of our animals that we actually consume from. And of course, pasteurized eggs is where the chickens are actually able to roam free on the land. When you see stuff like cage free and stuff like that, cage free just means they're in a big, huge cage. And they're still in the cage, but they're stuck in there. Pasteurized, mean by that actually on the pasture, they got land to roam on, and they can go to the chicken coop, lay their eggs, and keep them moving. So I try to prioritize that because I feel like that's really important. And then none but least, we're gonna have some oil, because you're gonna need oil to put for the potatoes. All right, let's get to it. All right, first we can put down any kind of plastic you want over your cutting board to peel for your potato. All right, now we're gonna peel our potatoes to make sure there's no bruises, no skin left on them. It should be clean and white. Just as shown right here to make sure it's just right to start cutting. All right, now we're gonna cut it in half. Now we're gonna start slicing in thin cuts from the flat side down. You wanna make sure that it is nicely thin sliced as shown right here.
You can see how it's nicely thin, flat, and we're gonna place that in water so the potatoes do not brown. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the other half of the potato. I'm gonna get an onion, cut the sides off where the stem is at. Now we're gonna cut it in half and we're gonna peel the outside layer of skin off. You know, we don't need that when we're cooking onions. Now we're gonna cut it from this side to give it a nice thin cut, julienne size. We wanna make sure they're thin so when we saute them, they're not thick, and they will add a nice texture to the potatoes. It's just as shown right here. Now we're gonna add to 3/4 of our cup.
Now we have our 3/4 of onions right here. And the potatoes we have in the water, we're going to dispose of the water, keep the potato, let the potatoes slightly dry, and then we're gonna add that to the pan. Right?
Somebody pray for me. My dog keep barking in the video. I don't understand.
All right. Now you see our potatoes right here. Put that right there so you can see it. Now they're totally clearly white as you see, and just right.
All right, now we're going to add our oil to the pan, just enough to where it can be able to cover the potatoes, just shown here. We don't want to fry it. We more so want to just pan sear them. And we want your potatoes to cook for 8 minutes total. And after 8 minutes, we're going to add the onions and let that cook for 3 more minutes. So it should be a total of about 11 to 12 minutes total of cooking these potatoes on medium to high heat. It's shown right here. Now I'm adding the potatoes. So now it's been 8 minutes in. Now I'm going to cook the onions with the potatoes for 3 minutes total. And they should be very brown. They should have a nice textured skin to them. And you're about to see how that looks in a few seconds. All right, now we're going to add our 1/8 of our salt to it with a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to add one more dash of salt when I also place it into a bowl to let the oil be not so saturated to the potatoes. All right, as you see now I'm adding just the salt and pepper. And you see now how it has that nice brown texture I was talking about. Now we're going to put that into a bowl with our napkins to make sure that the potatoes are not greasy. And once we get adding the potatoes to the bowl, we're going to add one more dash of salt just to make sure it's just right.
All right, guys, now that we're done with our potatoes, you're gonna need 3 things to start before we even get to the eggs. So you're first gonna need a bowl, and you're gonna need a strainer, because when we actually whisk the eggs, we're going to put that yolk and we're gonna strain it through here to make sure any cell membrane that's not totally saturated in the egg is going to be caught here. And of course, you're going to need a whisk. Let's get to it.
All right, now we're going to add our 3 eggs to the bowl. We want to make sure that we don't get any shells in our eggs. And once we do that, we're going to begin to stir with the whisk to make sure that the yolk and the cell membrane are well blended together.
All right, guys, now that you have your eggs in your bowl, let's whisk very well, okay? You want to whisk to make sure that all the egg is well blended in the cell membrane before you strain it. This is what helps your eggs be fluffy and have that beautiful yellow color to it. Now, some people add milk to their eggs because they believe that may make it more fluffier. But honestly, when you add milk, at times it can make it more dense. Only time that it doesn't do that is if you have a high enough ratio of eggs compared to the milk. If you do like 2 eggs and then you do like half of an egg of milk or like that, so it'd be maybe like 1/4 of milk, that'd be too much milk to add to the egg. And when you cook it, and when you put it on the plate, you will see all the moisture be released from the egg and you're left with a more dense egg. You want a fluffy, you want the egg to melt in your mouth, you want it to be buttery, you want it to be everything you want, and beautiful, delicious yellow eggs, all right?
All right, so now we're gonna pour our eggs. Make sure we strain our eggs to make sure that we can have our yolk. It's very well separated, as shown here from the cell membrane.
So let's get to it.
All right, and now we're gonna add our 1 tablespoon of butter to the pan. We wanna make sure we have buttery, fluffy eggs, so this is just the beginning start. Now you wanna make sure your pan's already warm, so the butter begins to melt right away, because we don't want our butter to brown Well, we don't want our butter to be burnt. We want to make sure our butter is just melted so our eggs are not stick, and it also gives a great flavor to them. Now we're going to add our eggs to the pan. Now when you add your eggs, you want to turn your heat down slightly a little bit, and then you want to begin stirring in your eggs. Now I'm adding my salt and I'm adding my pepper. I'm only adding a dash of both. If you like your eggs a little bit more salty, feel free to add a little bit more if you want. But this is just me. I add about 2 dashes of salt and 1 dash of pepper. Now I begin to stir, and I stir continuously. The reason why I'm stirring continuously is because I want to make sure that I am constantly letting each part of the egg cook thoroughly. I'm not letting any of the eggs burn. I'm not letting any of the eggs get scorched. I'm making sure that I'm also stirring to make sure that the temperature and the timing of the eggs is done correctly. Now you have to make sure you put some energy into it. You want to make sure that once your eggs have just started becoming fluffy and they start coming together, that you pull them right off. Because if you do, your eggs will overcook, and when you place them in the plate, they are still cooking. So you want to make sure that they are fluffy, that they are yellow, that they are buttery, and that they're just right. All right, so now you see that I was ready, and I'm pulling it right off, and I'm putting it right into the plate.
All right, everybody, so this is our dish now. Now you see, you're gonna get that in there, make sure I get a good visual on that. Hold on, let me zoom in on it and make sure it's just right. There we go. So you see now we have our nice buttery, soft scrambled eggs. We're gonna have our sauteed potatoes right here. Now you could do pan sausage, you could do bacon, you can even keep it just eggs and potatoes. You don't have to do a protein. Or you want to keep it like more of a vegetarian, you can add black beans. However you want to go with it. So I did mine with bacon, as you see right there. A few cherry tomatoes just to kind of add more texture and more flavor to the entree. So now we're gonna top this off with a little bit of our cheese right here. So remember the cheese right here? So we're gonna slowly but surely put that on there just like that. All right, now you got the cheese on top. Now we're gonna finish off with that draw partially. Now I'm gonna put a little bit on my potatoes too. There we go. And now you finish off with a nice little deal on top. And that's it, guys. Make this for your mom for breakfast. I promise she appreciate it. It's simple yet complex, but I promise you the flavors are robust and delicious. Now I'm gonna check this out real quick. You know I gotta taste it. You know I gotta taste it. Let's get to it. All right, guys, let's taste this real quick. I'm gonna come right here so y'all can see how I'm about to get my taste in this right here. Give me a little bit of egg, a little bit of potato right here. Cheers up, man. Happy Mother's Day. Man, this takes me back, man. Oh my goodness. Takes me back, man. Like, when I was younger too, my mom and my brother was always make salmon croquettes. So they would do that with this dish as well. So you can imagine how big that plate was. Then put a little syrup on top. Oh man. Listen, this is so good. Guys, my fellas, make this for your moms. Make this for your wife. You make this for your daughter too. Do it. This is a great dish. It's simplistic, semi-complex, but it's easy to follow. If y'all have any questions, hit me down below. Mom, I love you so much. Grandmother, I love you so much. Thank y'all for raising me. Thank you for letting me be the man that I am today. And Father, I got something for you. I ain't forgot about you, but this is for the moms. Hey, to all my moms out there, I love you all. I love my Instagram fam, my YouTube fam. I see you. I see you. Hey, thank y'all so much. And until next time, let's keep cooking.